821, welcome back. You're looking at a live shot of condos, and that's very appropriate because we're talking real estate right now. So pleased to be joined once again by Colin Doig. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk, first of all, about the overall climate right now in terms of sales and pricing. We just had the housing report come out for July.
Yes,
so
absolutely. So July was actually an up market.
Right.
We saw a 23% increase in sales for July when compared to 2018 for July and in June. This is part of due to interest rates have fallen under 3%.
Okay.
So this has really helped buyers come out and select a property. Before they do that, it's very, very important that they speak to a mortgage advisor first.
Okay, so this is about doing your due diligence when it comes to condo buying. My wife and I went through this a couple of years ago. It's a complex process, and yeah, what's the advantage of getting a mortgage broker for one thing?
Though we've seen interest rates fall under 3%, you still need to qualify at the stress test level. So this has reduced the lending power of the banks and the buyers. So definitely get a handle on your finances before you go shopping for the property. Okay.
And talk to us things like the budget is important, and you also want to be aware of the interest rates, right?
Absolutely. So you're going to have closing costs at the end of this purchase.
Yeah.
And, you know, property transfer tax can be, it can catch buyers off guard. It could be tens of thousands of dollars. So you really want to pre-plan for those costs, as well as legal costs and, of course, moving costs.
Is there sort of like a minimum you should budget for those kind of closing costs? Like how much buffer do you want to leave for the inevitability of those kind of things?
So it's about 2%. On the first, sorry, it's 2% on the first, 1% on the first 200,000,
okay,
and 2% on the balance.
Right.
So it can be quite expensive, tens of thousands of dollars to set aside.
It's not like they're hidden fees. It's just stuff that you sometimes forget about when you're going through the lengthy process of buying a condo. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and selecting the right property. I mean, there's all kinds of things to be aware of, from transit accessibility to the AGM reports, the history of the building. What are some of the main things to keep in mind when you're selecting a place to live?
So review the bylaws. The bylaws are going to give you an indication of whether or not that property will be right for your lifestyle. So the number of pets it may allow, rentals. Look through the minutes. The AGMs will give you an understanding of how the building's been run over the course of the last year and what's forthcoming. And another document that's very, very important is the depreciation report.
Yes.
Yeah, so if there is a report, it'll give you an understanding of the building maintenance that has happened and what's forthcoming.
Now, strata fees, I'm going to be totally frank here. My strata fees a month are like $518. Which seem astoundingly high to me, well, at first when we bought the place. But then, if they're too low, you're not going to have a contingency to pay for those inevitable projects in an aging building. We're in a place that's like late 70s, so
that's right.
You know, sort of don't balk sort of at high strata fees, right?
Yes, so part of that's going to go into the operating budget plus the contingency reserve for future maintenance. Also, if you happen to have a pool or a gym or large facilities, elevators where that's going towards, allocated towards.
Okay, so do your homework there. And then when it comes to submitting the offer, obviously a lot of complex things there. What are some important tips to remember?
So when you write your offer, there's several clauses that you'd want to incorporate. We have the empty homes tax, the speculation tax. Make sure that the seller has declared these so that they're covered once the buyer completes on the sale. And then we also have inspections. Very important to do inspection on the property.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
The importance, just as we close it out, of looking at those documents, the strata reviews and things like that, because it can seem like homework. A lot of the stuff is jargon. It's like, nobody wants to really read through that stuff, but it's so essential. Take the time to do it, and it's going to, save you money, and perhaps you'll avoid, maybe making a bad venture.
Exactly. For my clients, I read through the documents, I put bullet points and send them the email and say these are areas where you need to focus on, take a look at, just so you're informed and making sure that when you do write your offer that you're confident in that offer. And
that's like, again, highlighting the importance of yourself or like someone like a mortgage broker, kind of being like an intermediary and breaking it down for people that maybe some of the stuff is a little complex and technical for them, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, where can people get more information?
ColinDoig.com. Give me a ring.
Right.
I'm happy to help.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Coming up, we've got a warning about local trails and summer safety.